maybe I'm gonna say maybe 8 years ago, there was a study done on a specific zip code, and this zip code, man, I want to say it was 14215. That they tested young people from 12 to 17 years of age, and they all came back with the same diagnosis: post-traumatic stress disorder. These kids have not been to war. These kids never don't know nothing about the
not
military.
that we look like.
Right. So come on, let's elaborate on that, man, because you know the East Side. I was born on the East Side, and I grew up on the East Side, man. And we was sometimes in a war zone.
Most times, you know what I mean? Like, I like to say I'm from the Lower East Side specifically because I was born in '84, so I grew up in the '90s and in the early 2000s. And if you was from that area, then we know each other. You know what I mean? We probably had some wreck with one another, and we probably drank it out over. You know what I mean? As we got older, to see each other get older. You know what I mean? But like, my whole family is. I would like to say we endured the crack epidemic. You know what I mean? If the crack epidemic was a bomb, it did everything that it could to destroy us, my family, and we did everything that we could in the rapture of that wind blowing to hold on to this earth and keep it pumping. And that's what we do. You know what I mean? We found ways, and whether that was frowned down upon or by society, we still tried to make a way. We did what was in the spirit of us. You know what I mean? That resilience that echoes from 400 years. This year is the return, right? Yeah. So we did what we do. You know what I mean? And that's that creative part of me. That's the unapologetic part. Like, we have, that's just the way it is. We might not like it, but that's the way this world is. But anyway, that Lower East Side thing is, you start to see like everything is the same. Every hood is the same. So I got off track.
No, you're good, man, because I'm leading up until, okay, you're born in '84, East Side. What high school?
I went to Seneca High School.
You went to Seneca.
Yeah.
Now, from '84 to Seneca, the temptations, the peer pressure that you had to fight through.
From '84, man, let's start out with my mom's drug habit. You know what I'm saying? My mom had a bad drug habit, and that me and my brother, like when you grow up in poverty, you don't understand, you don't know that there's anything different from anybody else. So you don't know what you didn't have until you see better.
Right.
And then at that point, I was going to stay with my dad, but from early on, I had witnessed everything that comes with that. You know what I mean? But nothing, even with being with her, nothing that I witnessed with her is like the pain of not having her.
Right.
My whole life.
Right.
My son never really knowing his birth grandmother. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
powerful, man.
So it's the good and the bad with it, but
yeah,
I like to give it all back in service. I got what I was gonna get from it all. When it comes to the heartache, pain, strife, struggle, I'd had a whole life of that. When my son was born at 30, it was just like that's over.
Yeah.
I didn't get the super riches and everything, all the glory that I really wanted off my name. It was only block wide, one area of the city. You know what I mean? You wipe that out, you wipe me out. So I wanted a lot more.
And so you did have to deal with the temptations of the streets, the temptations of.
I was in it. I was born in that. It's not even like I can't even resonate with you saying temptation, because that's just the process. I wanted to get away from that. Like, early on, I was I went to the military because, like, what else am I gonna do? Like, my recruiter was like, he was like, you got a better chance of dying here than you do in the United States Air Force. You know what I mean? And I sat there for a minute, and he hit me with another blow. He was like, and even if you do die, at least it'll be for something.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. Now let me do something different. So I was against certain things like being overweight, selling dope. I was still chauvinistic, but like being a total womanizer. I just didn't want to be as bad. You know what I mean? Right. I wanted to, color it up a little bit.
Right.
But it's still magnetic. Yeah. You know what I mean? You still caught in that orbit, of that life and lifestyle.
Right. So now you did the Air Force, and you come home. You're still pursuing.
I'm more skilled.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? At my practices, at my thinking, I'm more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more tactful. But again, it still wasn't. I had a whole life built. So by the time I came home till 2014 when my son was born, that was a run in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm